My wife would just kill me.
Get another wife.
Yeah. Hi and welcome back to Joe Talks Cars, and welcome to another video featuring my Cayman S. Now, it's not long before I set off to complete the North Coast 500. In fact, we're going in the next week. The car is going to be taken back to Sam Lander Porsche. You'll have seen it in a previous video. He fixed the gear linkage on the car. We're going to be taking the car back there. It's going to give it a bit of a once-over, make sure everything is perfect for the trip, and fix a little problem that I've had with the car for some time now. Regular viewers of this channel will know I've had like a very, very small gearbox leak from the sump. This car is a Tiptronic and they have like a little sump right at the back of the engine. It just kind of corroded away and it's seeping out. Now, it's not something that I've been concerned about before, but when Sam spotted it, he said, you really do need to get that sorted, because if that fails, you're stranded. So we need to get that sorted, make sure the car is leak-free and running perfectly for what will be probably around about a 1,000-mile road trip. It's going to be great, but I want to make sure I make it back in one piece. Before we get to Sam, I'm just going to have a quick chat about how the car has been so far. So a lot of you will know that the car has recently had the new AliExpress head unit fitted. It's caused a lot of controversy. A lot of people dislike the thing. I personally love it, and it's been great so far. The North Coast 500 will be the ultimate test. We're going to be using pretty much the entire way round. We'll be using the sat-nav, using all of the Apple CarPlay features. So it'll be interesting to see if we have any issues, and if I do, of course, I'll report back. But so far, so good. It's been great, and I'm just really, really happy with it. The car is also due a set of rear tyres. I'm going to have a look at them today when I take it into the garage. I think they're very, very close to being worn out. I'm not sure whether they'll last the full journey, so they're probably going to have to be redone. It's a bit annoying, but it's part and parcel of owning a Porsche. Tyres are very expensive, and I always go for Michelin PS4Ss. They've provided the ultimate grip, and they've lasted around 3 years. So if you're looking for a set of tyres for your Porsche, look no further than PS4Ss, because they are insanely good tyres. They're just a little bit expensive, so I'm trying to get the most out of them that I possibly can do. Talking about the channel and future plans for this car, as you know, the North Coast 500 is happening. I've got a few more road trips that I want to do, and a few more little modifications to the car. The road trip side of things is what I want to focus on. I want to build this channel up so it's more than just car reviews. It's more than just ownership content on this car. Of course, that will be a major feature of it, but I want it to become more of an all-round car lifestyle channel. I want to take this car on epic road trips in the most obscure places imaginable. I've got plans to take this car to Morocco. That's how far I'm thinking of pushing it. We're going to not worry about miles per gallon, or anything. This channel will just share what it's like to have one of these cars and how much enjoyment you can get out of them. I like to look after my car, but gone are the days where I was worried about the tiniest little stone chip or little scuff here, there and everywhere. That's not to say I don't care about my car. I want to keep it in perfect condition, but equally, I want to use it. If I go to the North Coast 500 and get a mark on an alloy wheel, that just adds to the memory of the car. I don't want a perfect garage queen. I want something that I can make memories with, do amazing adventures and meet really cool people in. It's not exactly an expensive car, and it's not a car that I'm going to keep forever. It's a car that I love, and I think you get more enjoyment out of a car if you just take it out, enjoy it, and take it on epic road trips, which I have planned. Taking it to Morocco is just one of the crazy ideas I have. I'm not saying it will 100% happen or it will definitely be Morocco, but they're the sort of things I'm thinking about. How far can you take one of these? Where can you go with it? What sort of countries can we visit? There's so much to do, but we have to start with this country to begin with. And there's plenty of trips I can be doing here. And obviously venturing up to Scotland around the Scottish Highlands is essentially Scotland's Route 66. So that will be epic as well. Coming up in the next few weeks, I'm going to be attending a track day at Croft with Sam Lander Porsche. He's kindly invited me along with him, so we'll be able to experience a track day from the pit lanes. That's going to be cool as well. So yeah, I just want to bring more of this type of content to the channel. Less of the reviews and more of the lifestyle. But if that's something you are going to be interested in, then please make sure to hit that subscribe button. Around 50% of everyone that watches my videos is not subscribed. And it makes a huge difference to the channel if you hit that subscribe button. It means a lot to me and it helps the algorithm and it helps push my videos to new audiences and get more views, which ultimately allows me to create more and more content for you guys. But anyway, less waffle from me. Let's hit the road and head to Sam Lander.
Just a paper filter element.
Oh, right, yeah.
So, but unless they're leaking or you have an issue, they never get changed.
Annoyingly, the gearbox oil did get done on this.
Did it?
Yeah, I did it because it was however many years old and it had never been done because it's non-serviceable.
Yeah, that's what they say, yeah.
So does it all look actually normal and do it on the suspension side of things?
No, it's finished flexing all of it.
All of it?
All of it. 10 grand you owe.
Can you imagine? My wife would just kill me.
Get another wife.
Yeah.
Your little level sensor link rods.
Oh, wow. Is that for the headlights?
Yeah.
That's why people keep flashing me.
So the C's up and corroding.
Oh, that's why people are flashing me then. So they're probably just really high.
Yeah, they're not altering with the...
No. I actually thought they weren't because when you start it up, they move up and down, and I think it stopped doing that.
The back one's seized as well, so I'll recommend replacing that at some point.
The camera and stuff.
The tyre.
But I need new tyres, yeah, anyway.
No, it's desperate.
Oh yeah, that's actually really desperate. I never even, oh my God. Yeah, that's...
It's a canvas.
But yeah, that's a bit embarrassing.
So if we do... Yeah, get that. Yeah, come here. Look.
Through to the
Joe's car, who knows everything about cars, look.
Oh, they chuck magnets in them to then collect all the...
Yeah, the swarf and that.
Ah.
Not bad at all, really, that.
No.
Bit on it, but...
You're going to get a little bit on it, aren't you?
Yeah.
Right, so that is the Cayman dropped off here at Sam Lander Porsche. We just had a quick look at the car, and although we're happy with the suspension and most of those components, he did notice a brake line was corroded, and also a rear left tyre was completely shredded down to the core on the inside, which is a little bit embarrassing. I'm usually on top of my tyres, and yeah, I just neglected to notice that one. The tyres have lasted well though, 30,000 miles and a few laps of the Nurburgring as well. So I'm very happy with how the Michelin PS4 S's have lasted. And I did say it needed new tyres, I just didn't realise how desperate it actually was. So it's going to have a brake pipe fitted to it because that's slightly corroded, and it's also going to have some level sensors on the headlights. So one thing I've noticed when I've been driving back from work is people have been flashing me and the headlights have been dipped. But it's because the level sensors are gone, so when I'm coming up hills, it's just blinding people. So they're not too much money, so we're going to get them replaced as well, and we'll be picking the car up a little bit later on today. So now time to kill some time, go into Malton. find somewhere nice for lunch. Right, so the garage has just called and the Porsche is ready to go and collect. So we've just had a bit of a day out and gone to some cafes in Malton, and I've arrived here at the NY500. If you haven't been here, this is a super cool place to come when in the North Yorkshire area. It's a cafe which holds car meets every single weekend, and they also do really great food and drink. So yeah, it's a really cool place to come. They've got some great cars hanging around. You'll probably recognise this from a previous video that I did with Bex from the North Yorkshire 500. But yeah, really cool place to come. But yeah, let's jump back in the Golf and go and collect the Porsche and find out how much it's cost me this time. Sorted?
Yeah.
Cool. You said the bolt was loose or something. And
Yeah, your actual bottom iron bolt was the one that was loose.
I think it's on this point I need to stop the video and just talk a little bit more about what was found here. So obviously my tyre was bald on the inside. This is following a trip from the Nurburgring, which is deeply concerning. The car handled a little bit strange while we were there, but the weeks leading up to it, it was absolutely fine. So whether this bolt has actually worked itself loose on the way to the Nurburgring and during my time there, I'm not entirely sure. But the bolt being loose did, of course, cause the tyre to be bald on the inside. This was due to the camber being a negative or positive depending on how the car was sitting on the road. That's why at certain times the car felt a little bit wobbly, and other times it felt absolutely fine. I'm just really lucky that Sam Lander and his team found the problem. If we hadn't done the four-wheel alignment, we never would have found this. It's a really random thing to go wrong, and I'm not entirely sure what caused it. But the main thing is, it's fixed now, and the car is handling perfectly.
I will say your valves, just have a look and see what you think to your valves on front. I'll show you. Look.
Oh yeah,
Like that.
yeah.
Just for your own safety, if you do mileage and that.
Yeah.
A bit of reliability for a simple thing.
Yeah,
That was worth pointing out.
yeah.
We've greased your pipes up under here while we
Uh-huh.
have them trays down, wax oiled them up.
Cool. And then it was that brake pipe on it over there that you
Brake
did,
pipe's
yeah.
done. Yeah, done that for you.
Right, so picked the car back up and they've noticed a few things which we'll talk about on my way home because it's been a long day. I'm very tired now, just want to get home. But we'll talk about the things that they've found and the things that they've done to the Cayman while it's been in. I must say though, I am super happy with the way that everything has been handled at Sam Lander Porsche. I could not recommend them more highly enough if you've got a Porsche to take it to them. The attention to detail these guys have when it comes to working on your car is second to none. They even painted the wheel bolts on the Porsche. They looked a little bit manky and now they're bright silver. You know, it's the little things like that that they've done. So the car went in for its gearbox to be drained and the sump pan to be replaced, which they did. They also noticed that the headlight levelers are completely sheared off. Now, the past few weeks I've been driving along and finding that people are flashing me coming the other way, and I just thought it was because the headlights are bright and you know what some people are like, they're a bit dramatic. So yeah, there's that. The headlight levelers are totally gone. So he's ordered those and they will be here next week. So that's going to be going back to have them fitted before we go on the North Coast 500. Now, I did speak very briefly in the last few videos about the wobbliness of the car. This is really interesting. So the wobbliness that Misha noticed, that Andy noticed, and that after a while I started to feel it myself, wasn't the bushings at all. The bushings probably are a bit worn out and the car probably would benefit from a full set of bushings, 100%. What had actually happened is the camber bolt, which controls your camber and allows you to set it and then lock it back in place, yeah, that was completely loose, which meant the wheel was essentially just wobbling around all over the place. It caused the inside of the tyre to be bald and the car to be very unstable on the road. Yeah, it caused the inside tyre to be bald. Very embarrassing for a YouTuber like me that professes to be some sort of car expert. They take the car into the garage. Oh yeah, I meticulously look after this. Oh wait, my tyre's bald. So we chucked a rear set of Michelin PS4 S's on the car and had full four-wheel alignment done again. Kept most of the settings just the same as how Joey set them up. How that bolt got loose, I don't know. Whether it wasn't done up right in the first place, whether I've hit something, it's just worked its way loose, I don't know. I don't want to say at this point, but either way, it was loose, which is not a good thing, and it did cause me to scrub a tyre. The tyres were already old, so at least there's that. They needed replacing, so I'm not too bothered by that. I knew I needed them, I just didn't realise I'd need them today. The other thing they noticed was a rear brake pipe, the one on the rear right of the car. That was quite badly corroded. They weren't comfortable with me leaving without having that done, and they had the part, so they just swapped that straight out for a nice fresh one. The car, when they did the road test on the car, they did say it would benefit probably from a brake fluid flush. The pedal felt quite spongy, and while I'm doing all that, it does need a set of brake lines all the way around. They're all a bit, they're past it. Not 100% past it, but they're getting there. So that's just a little bit of maintenance to do with that. So there's quite a bit to be done to the Cayman to get it back up to the standard and get it up to a nice, safe standard. Talking about safety, I will be taking the car back next week to get the level sensor done. And although a lot of you might think that's a bit silly, going all the way back to a garage just for that one little part that doesn't really affect anything apart from other people coming the other way. But they also noticed the valves are slightly, on the front wheels, are very, very slightly starting to break down a bit. Yeah, you don't want one of them popping off and flattening your tyre and, you know, leaving you stranded or worse, having an accident. So I'm going to be going back to get the valves changed on those because the tyres, although they're the same age as the rear, this car's so gentle on its tyres that we decided that maybe I should just get a few more miles out of them. But the valves need to be done for a safe trip around the North Coast 500. But as I said, I'm just so happy with the way things have been handled there. Booking the car in, speaking to Sam, and the communication throughout has been amazing. And just their attention to detail. They really do care about these cars. They go the extra mile to make sure everything is perfect. Now, it could be my imagination, but the gear changes seem even better than they did before the service. I don't know if that's just in my imagination. I didn't expect it to change anything, but they do seem a lot smoother. Handling wise, just coming off those last few roundabouts, this car feels alive now, and that wobbliness has gone. I'm ashamed that it's a bolt and I didn't feel it, but the thing is, you get used to your car, and if something's worked loose over a period of time, you aren't going to notice it. It's going to take someone else to get in it to really feel that. And Andy noticed it, Misha noticed it, and Sam thought maybe it was a little bit worn out, but not too bad. So yeah, I'm just glad it feels pretty much like when I picked it up. It feels tight as anything and really keen to turn in. Should make the North Coast 500 a lot more bearable and fun. So yeah, really happy with the outcome. Because Sam didn't get the invoice from the garage where they got the tyres from, he hasn't sent me the bill yet, so I can't tell you exactly how much this cost, but we'll cover that in a future video once I've got the extra bits done as well. So I'll talk to you about that once I get the bill, but I'm not expecting it to be cheap. The sump and everything like that, I think they're around £400, so it's going to be a big bill. It's going to be painful. And I'm always honest with you guys, and I share everything, as you know. And I like to show what the running costs are for one of these things when you're not doing any of the work yourself. Yes, I know I'm going to end up with 100 comments now saying, you should have just done the work yourself. You can easily do a sump pad. I can't do that because A, I don't have time, and B, my driveway is on like a 45-degree angle, and yeah, there's just nowhere to work on the car, and I don't particularly want to do it. The guy doing it got quite covered in gearbox oil, and I'm just not here for that. It's just not me. And I appreciate that a lot of my subscribers, they're just the same. So it's nice to share what happens if you just take your car to a regular garage. and just see how much things cost, because this is ultimately normal maintenance on an 18-year-old car. All the things that have worn out on this are nothing out of the ordinary. You're going to get it with any car of this age. But with it being a Porsche, it's always going to cost you that little bit more. But anyway, by the time this video goes out, I'm probably on my way to the North Coast 500, setting off from Inverness and doing the loop round. It's going to be an epic video, so if you are interested in watching that content and see more content like this, then please make sure to hit that subscribe button. It makes a massive difference to my channel. It's helped it grow and given me opportunities that I never expected. So it does mean a massive amount if you take the time to subscribe. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this update video. It's been a rather long one, but I think we've got a lot done. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.